I'm Claire and welcome to 2017. I want to wish everyone a happy new year and also reassure you that Tabby does not hate you. She does not want to show you her butt as some kind of a message for 2017, but I'm filming this on New Year's Eve and there are fireworks outside and she is not particularly happy with them. As for me, I want to take a look at the reading goals and resolutions I made in 2016 and see how well I did with them and which ones I want to bring forward in 2017, what I want my general goals and resolutions both for reading and for the channel and making videos and all that to be. Let's get started with the first resolution that I made in 2016, which was to up my Goodreads challenge to 100 books. This was mostly done in an effort to read more books because my Goodreads challenge had stagnated to 50 for about 4 or 5 years before that, so I set it to 100 to make myself try and read more books, which did work but not completely. I ended up lowering the challenge to 75 and then to 60 on this final day of the challenge, just because I read 10 more books this year than I did in the 5 previous years, so I don't want that to count as a failure because I think that is pretty good. My second resolution for 2016 that I have here on my computer was to read on my commute, and to be honest, I read on it a lot, but I read a lot of fanfic on it because that really relaxes me and takes my mind off this commute, which is kind of terrible. So I have decided for 2017 that I'm not going to stress myself about my commute because it is the worst, and so I don't want to make it even more stressful by saying I must read things to consider for review or whatever. If I'm in a good mood, if I have energy, I will definitely do that, but I'm not going to make myself stress over like reading the wrong thing on my commute because that is a bit nonsensical. The third thing that I said was that I wanted to buy fewer books overall and to not click the buy 3 extra credit button on Audible. For this one, I kind of did sort of okay but not great on the first half, which was buy fewer books, and pretty well on the buy 3 extra Audible credits. I think I only clicked that button one time this year, which definitely feels like, you know, the kind of luxury that you can allow yourself once in a while. The book buying in general has been a little bit unfettered, particularly in October and November when I was kind of already thinking to myself, it's almost Christmas, it can count as a Christmas present to myself. Nevertheless, I think I did alright with this one in general. I've kind of gotten into the habit of putting stuff on my Amazon wishlist first and kind of letting it sit there for a little while and see if I was still excited to read it after it had been on there for a couple of weeks. I'm going to keep kind of doing that, not really putting myself on a book buying ban necessarily, but just generally being more self-aware about when I decide to spend money on books or not. My fourth resolution last year was to finish the books that I started, not necessarily forbidding myself from DNFing something, deciding not to finish something if I didn't like it, but to make sure that when I pick something up and I start it and I'm enjoying it and I want to finish it, that I do finish it, because I have the tendency of starting something and then putting down for any number of random reasons and then not picking it up again, and after a few months, if I want to read it, I have to start from the beginning again because I can't really remember what's been going on. And this didn't happen as many times this year, but when it did happen, it was particularly with Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which ended up being one of my favorite books this year. And then I also have the Book of Phoenix by Nnedi Okorafor, which I started and loved and put down in the middle for no reason that I can remember. And now I'm gonna have to read it again from the beginning because I've forgotten so many things. And my final goal for 2016 was to read more diversely. And look, I think I did this, but I can't tell because I haven't been tracking my reading properly. And, you know, at some point you have to ask yourself, do I want to spend the end of 2016 putting all of my reading from 2016 into a spreadsheet, or do I want to spend it making plans forward for the future? And I think at some point you have to prioritize making sure that you continue as you want to go along rather than stressing about the things that you didn't do in the past. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is still a goal that I want to pursue, and I definitely want to make sure that I'm better at tracking this year in 2017, because I definitely tried to pick up more diverse reads in 2016. I know I made the effort, and now I can't tell if it bore any fruits, so I want to be better at tracking in 2017. So my goals slash resolutions for the coming year are, number one, to read 80 books slash bookish things, novels, novellas, graphic novels for my Goodreads challenge 2017. A bit less ambitious than the planned 100 I had for 2016, but a bit more ambitious than the 60 that I ended up reading in 2016. I'm not doing this because I think I should always be reading more books. I'm doing this because I know that I don't take advantage of all the reading time that I could in my day, and I want to push towards that. Number two, I want to start using the reading corner slash reading alcove that I just finished putting together. I have been trying to get into the habit of reading before bed so that I can get more reading done and so that I can have an hour or so without screens before going to sleep, because that's really bad for you. But reading in my actual bed did not work out for me. It really hurts my back. It makes me really drowsy really quickly, and I put the book down and I turn the light off and I can't sleep. So I got myself an armchair as a Christmas slash birthday present from IKEA, as well as a little lamp, some cushions. I put a throw in there. It looks amazing. It's so comfortable. I spent like 3 hours this morning reading in it, and I have another 2 days of holiday, so I'm going to start off my reading for 2017 by spending some quality time in that armchair. Number three is to keep reading diversely in terms of the diversity of the authors and the characters that I am reading, and try to read more own voices narrative, but also to try and read more diversely in terms of the genres that I read, to diversify my reading. I think I'm using diverse for too many things here. I noticed when I looked over my reading for 2016 that I read a lot of fantasy, and I was missing sci-fi and non-fiction and young adult and middle grade. I had a few of each, but I really want more of a balance, so I'm going to work towards that. And also hopefully getting a bit more into romance as well, because I have no idea what to read, but I'm getting a lot of recommendations from the lovely Kay Taylor Ray, who is trying to get me and Chelsea from the Reading Outlaw to read more romance, and I'm completely on board with that. Now at number four, something really important is that I want to track what I read better. I want to end 2017 with one of those badass stats videos that other people are doing that I can't do because I haven't been keeping track of my reading. I would love to track my fan fiction reading as well as my original fiction reading. I don't know how feasible that is going to be, but maybe if I just keep track of the longer works that I read, or maybe just the fic that I'm enjoying the most, then that would already be a really interesting metric, a really interesting set of stats to look at. So I'm going to download a fresh copy of Brock's reading spreadsheet that he puts out every year. I'm going to link his channel and maybe his spreadsheet video as well down below so that you can go and check it out, because that was very impressive work that he did. And finally, just a quick word about my channel goals for 2017. At this time last year, we had just hit 1,000 subscribers, and now we're up to about 2,600, which is just wonderful and great growth. And I am sure that I can do as much or better in 2017 if I keep making content more consistently, which is why my main goal for the channel in 2017 is to plan better, to try and be a bit more consistent with my content, not by like working so much more, but by making sure that when I plan things that I want to release, the release schedule makes sense and isn't ridiculously ambitious, because this is something that I tend to do. I make huge plans for so much content at the last minute, and of course it's too much work and I can't do it. I overstretch myself, I get really stressed out, and then I blame myself for not making enough stuff if I can't keep up with the kind of schedule that I imagine I can keep up with. And that ties in with a goal that I want to have in general in life in 2017, which is to not overstretch myself, to be more consistent by way of setting myself reasonable, attainable expectations and mini goals on a regular basis, and not trying to do so many things at once, to be just a bit kinder to myself, to not put expectations on myself that I would never put on anybody else. I would never look at someone else's channel that they are running in their spare time because they love books and say, oh, you're not making enough videos, you're a terrible booktuber. And I kind of think that about my channel sometimes when I've not made something in a while. So I want to not do that, but instead focus on working more positively and more consistently and just making content that I'm enjoying. So that's it. Those were my goals / my resolutions for my reading and my channel and like life in general in 2017. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in comments below if you've already set your Goodreads challenge goal for 2017 and how many books you're hoping to read next year. And in the meantime, I'm going to go and cuddle this cat right here. If you'd like to see more from me, you can check the sidebar right here for more videos. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button for new videos from me every week. I've been Claire, thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.